Okay, once again, what I got here is the outlet, little 3-prong adapter that we had the dishwasher hooked up to, and we broke it free, and mostly melted there. And this is on the hot leg. Luckily, didn't cause any more of a fire. Not sure what happened. Could have been a loose connection or just on that hot leg, causing that to heat up and kind of melt. But regardless, that's trash. And I was trying to see about covering this, and you can see, bring it up there, it's pretty well toasted. Now it's not, if I wiggle it, it's not real loose, but I can, if I go that way, I can move it. And this one's a solid. You can see this one has like that black inner kind of liner. So I'm just not real confident. I did it on the test run. I plugged it in and it worked fine, but that could still cause a problem. And it could be an actual problem with this plug itself that caused the prong to heat up on the 3 outlet. So I'm going to replace this plug end. There's a couple things you can do. You can buy a whole new cord and replace the cord, and or you can just buy a new plug in. As long as you got sufficient, space wise, you can get the 90-degree ones, kind of like this, to begin with. And that was the whole problem that I had with it, why I didn't want to use that anymore. So what I'm going to do is just put on this straight plug. This is a 15 amp rated, so you want to make sure you get one that's rated not for 13 amp. And you want to make sure you get a grounding plug. And don't buy the cheapest one. They're you can get them for low as $2, but they're pretty chintzy. And if you're having issues with them to begin with, it's probably not a good idea to buy the cheap one. So I've already kind of loosened this one up a bit, and I'll kind of open it up here, and I'll show you. It's real basic, and they got the 3 locations there where we're going to put the stripped wire in, and it even has a stripped wire gauge on there. And you can put your wire right up against there, and it shows exactly how much is stripped, in case you didn't know. So we're going to do that real quick here. So I'm just going to cut this cord right on the end here. Try to get a good flush cut. I want to show you something here. Oh, I'm very happy that it actually has color-coded wiring. Sometimes they're not color-coded, and so you're going to have to trace, because especially on certain appliances, you're going to want to make sure that you hook up the right leg of power, your hot leg and your neutral leg. So the hot leg's the black one, our whites are neutral, and then the green is our ground. And so this kind of, it's sort of encased in there. You kind of can see it moving a little bit. The trick with some of these is, so we're not going to be stripping a whole lot off of this. As you can see here, not really a whole lot's going to be coming off. And I'm actually going to cut this a little straighter. It didn't turn out as straight as I'd like it, so that's the first thing. You don't want to strip it too far where the wires are coming outside here. So, good rule of thumb, kind of do that, and then give yourself a little bit of space where it's going to be going in. And that's the maximum you want to strip it back. It's not much. So, and you can do this with just a pair of any old cutters, but just kind of score it. If you can see that score right there, and then if you twist it real, or put some pressure on it, it should start to split. And see how close the wire is there. You don't want to just try to strip it because you'll end up stripping it back too far. So once you kind of get it there, you'll just twist it a little more and then should be able to eventually pull that off. And this one's got a basically it's kind of like a fiberglass insulation, some sort of twine that they use for their insulation on these. So now that we got that, that's going to come in here. It's going to give us plenty of space for tightening down on that. I think we'll cut it back just a bit more, just to give ourselves a little more space. Strip this. Alright. So you can kind of cut these off so they're not in your way. Some of them have like a cardboard paper kind of liner. Some might just be solid rubber, and the solid rubber ones are kind of really hard to strip sometimes to get to the individual wires. All depends on the manufacturer. So now we got them stripped here down, you know, the sheathing off the main. So, you know, according to the guide that's on here, you know, it's showing about 3/8 of an inch they want stripped. This is a pretty common length for stripping wire. So another thing on these pliers is they got solid marking and stranded markings for where your stripping gauge is. You'll see that they're one size off, so the solid number is actually goes down a little bit higher or lower, however you want to kind of refer to it as. So this is a 15 amp 14 gauge, so I'm gonna just put it right in there and see if I can get that for you. If you got good strippers, looks like these ones are starting to get worn a little bit. Let's get that black one more time here. So we got those stripped again. Now we got our individual strip. And what I like to do is turn these in the direction they're normally twisted, which is right hand. It's not as important with what we're doing here. You can also strip these longer and then double back on them. And that's always a good idea too if you have a really thin wire. This is kind of right on the edge of where I'd probably do that. So on these you want to make sure, like I said again, that you get them into the correct terminal. They are labeled on here. It says green right there. And on the other side white and black. A lot of times you can also go by the screw colors. So usually you got a silver screw for your neutral. And then for your hot, you got more of a brass colored and usually a green. There is a green tinge to that. I don't know if you can tell or not in the camera, but and so they got this opening clamp that you'll be tightening down. So I'll do my black one first, and I can fit it in there. And you want to push it back all the way, and it's really hard to see with the camera, but it looks like the rubber is actually going into where the clamping part, but it's not. If you look on the back side of it, and I don't know if I can get it on there or not, but the white wire might be in the way, but so it's right on the edge of it. You can just hold it there and then tighten it up. We'll actually pull in the clamp. I want to make sure it's not sticking out at all. I'm just going to loosen it and really torque it down. And you don't want to use any other connectors in here like that. I got it good there. And do my neutral. Just verify, look at everything that's caught good. And lastly is my ground. It doesn't really matter what order you do. That's just the way it's kind of happening here. Okay. Double check everything. Kind of can pull on them a little bit if you want. As you can see, we've got a good depth. Got a good bite on our cord here, and we'll just clamp that down. It's got a pretty large plastic grommet, and I don't know if you're supposed to see, it doesn't really pinch down very good on there. Not sure if you're supposed to break out some of that. I haven't used this clamp before. It does have a adjustable. And it looks like it has different sizes. So if you have it in that way, there was no instructions, by the way, with this. So that was the way it came. Sticking out with that little dimple, and this one actually has a big wide dimple. So I'm going to use that one. Push that back in. Let's see if that will give us the right clamp. It's still really tight. I'm going to switch this one too. Some of them just have a really soft rubber clamping area. There we go. That'll work a little better. I'll tighten these ones up. And there we go. We got a good pinch on there. Got our new cord end, and it's ready to test out. Thanks for watching, you guys. If you get a chance, please check out my website, RicksDIY.com, and please leave me a comment on the video section or send me an email. I'd appreciate hearing from you guys. Thanks.